How's it going? Today was interesting. I had to go to school today for an appointment with my professor, talking about the thing we're doing in our class. It's a role-playing game that we're doing as a class, and I ended up with this role, blah, 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 blah. Turns out, so I ended up being like one of the leaders of the class, kind of a thing. So I had to talk to her about like what all I had to do and how the game's going to be played and blah, 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 blah. But the whole thing lasted 20 minutes. And it takes me an hour to get up there. And I didn't have anything else to do up there today. So I literally took an hour to get up there just to come back. And like, the thing is, my brother, he got his license. Yay for him. And so he had to drive my other siblings to a dentist appointment and then drop them off at school and then go to school himself. And my dad had to go to work. And I had to go up to school too. And so my dad ended up taking me to his work, and there's a train station right next to his work. And so I just got on there, and then I went to the thing for like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And so I ended up taking the train, and then I had to catch a bus from like Sandy all the way back home. And oh my goodness, like I've had horror stories. Like the one time I rode the bus in South Salt Lake, that was sketchy. Like, oh my goodness, I was pretty scared, and I only had to ride it like 4 stops. This time I had to ride it like 10, and thank goodness I was like one of 2 people on this bus, and the only other people were up front talking to the driver the whole time. I felt so bad for the driver. Like these people, you could tell they were a little off, and yeah, and the guy, he must have been so annoyed. I felt so bad for him. And on top of that, bus drivers, that has to be like the most monotonous just job in the world, because you're literally driving this gigantic car that you freaking can't maneuver very well on these super busy streets, and like people are jerks to you and all that stuff. Well, honestly, because sometimes bus drivers are jerks to us. So anyways, and so like all these different things, and they're trying to cut you off and all this, and you couldn't see my hand moving, but that's why it was shaking. The camera was shaking. But oh my goodness, it was just I felt so bad for the guy. And then like on top of that, I just barely caught this bus. Like literally, I got off the train, walked over to the bus, the doors closed, and then we went out of there. And I'm like, smooth move. And anyway, so that was fun. Then I just ended up walking a couple blocks home because it wasn't too bad. It dropped me off fairly close to my home, which I was actually kind of really happy about. And so hopefully I won't have to do it anytime soon. But it's an option there. Hopefully it won't end up with super crazy people. And my headphones like literally saved me, because like you could tell that the people on the bus besides the bus driver were like those people that would try to talk to you even though they had no business talking to you, and they like yeah, those kind of people. You know what I'm talking about. Typical public transportation people. And so I ended up just like throwing my headphones in really quick, like almost instantly when I got on the bus, and that probably saved my life. And headphones are great, and it's awesome. Anyway, so that was my experience for the day with the bus and why I wouldn't want to be a bus driver. So yeah, I definitely need some sleep now. I got class in the morning. What to do? But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you around.